Good evening, and on this Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026, let me welcome you to Pershing Square Free Speech Initiative Group. This private study group is assigned to direct your attention to the one who breathed into the nostrils of our first parents that eternal and spiritual breath of life that brought them into existence as living souls placed within a temporary or physical husk, earth uniform, school uniform, however you wish to identify our physical structure in which we were placed as living souls. Our Creator is our friend. I'm talking about the real Creator, not the ones that all these divisive and competing political, religious groups are trying to use in competing with one another out there. But the Creator of life is life, as I mentioned in the video last night, and is also identified as love. Love is the energy behind life that perpetuates life and presents and produces life. It's unfortunate that most of our brothers and sisters in life in this lifetime will not be able to comprehend the essence of our universal source of being and just how much trust and confidence he continues to place in us as his very best or crowning achievement within the physical arena. Man has very successfully created gods in his own image and likeness and has used fear, anxiety, and guilt-related issues to force his own ideas about a God on those too fearful to question these gods of hate, pain, suffering, and death. Yet our dearest friend and share of life, desiring to develop a lasting relationship with his crowning achievement, has not given up on getting the attention of the very best creation ever presented within time and space, because he wants us to learn to grow up and to learn how to work with our senior partner in life and fulfill our role and duties as junior partners in creating and in creation. We need this physical experience at the Academy of Life so we can get used to making wise choices and informed decisions. In the image and in the likeness of our eternal and spiritual source of being simply means that we, as heaven's crowning achievement, possess the ability to emulate our source of life at this temporary level of life or flesh and blood realm. Our assignment remains to rule over the land, air, and sea creations while we learn how to effectively rule over our own animalistic nature and bring our conduct into conformity with the will of heaven. We are not, however, authorized to begin exercising control over those with whom we share this precious gift of life. Our source of life is life, as well as identified as love. These two energies, life and love, combine within the eternal and spiritual realm of life to perpetuate life throughout the universe. Our source of life is concerned with creating, generating, promoting, producing, sustaining, sharing, infusing, and refreshing life at every turn of events. We're appointed to do the same as those in his image and likeness at our assigned physical Academy of Life, as we function within the realm of time and space, perfecting ourselves as encouraged from the boardroom of creation and encouraging others to do the same. The numerous divisive and competing political religious movements led by control freaks, fearmongers, ego-driven, and self-appointed scholar gentry are ignorant of the purpose for this physical experience that is designed to permit us to experience the next level of life for living. Listen up, should we choose it or choose life at the next level. Each course in life prepares us to become more effective as future leaders and junior partners in creations and in creating. This arena, this physical arena, is our assigned academy of life, at which we may learn all that is required for entering into life at the next and higher level. We're granted sufficient time in which to practice at this academy of life what we will be embracing for eternity as our Creator's crowning achievements. Our Master of Life and as love permits heaven's crowning achievement to learn by what is experienced and, yes, suffered while attending this academy of life or this school of hard knocks. Life is our source of life's total and complete focus. Death is of no interest to the energy and spirituality known as love, and the giver of all life is life, and again, is identified as love. In short, our source of life has absolutely nothing to do with pain, suffering, and death. It is man who has opened the gates to pain, suffering, and death by his refusal to embrace words of life, but has chosen to create gods in his own nasty image and likeness, and we look around us and we see the results of such foolishness. Our source of life as eternal and spiritual energy has provided a conduit from the physical to the spiritual, so we may ultimately transition through this time and space experience and enter into life at the next assigned level if we choose to do so. There's no rush. Each will learn on his or her own. This is no one size fits all. Each is separate and individually oriented, so it's up to each to decide for himself or herself when that next step is ready to be taken. Words of life make up the necessary connection from our physical to spiritual, and not everyone is able to understand how to use those words of life in the arena of the physical for generating the spiritual. That's where many of us who understand how to do it, we've failed our brothers and sisters in life and permitted others to manipulate them, guide them, control them. And it's terrible. It's our fault. We have to change. We have to repent of that and get back to teaching the ways and thoughts of our Creator. The numerous divisive and competing political religious movements do not possess the physical to spiritual understanding that reveals the proper use of the physical gift for generating the spiritual and eternal. This, or the temporary exposure to physical life, we're living souls, and we occupy this physical husk or physical shell to learn spiritual lessons. This is but an earnest or sample of life presented for, at this course, our physical to spiritual education. It's a free gift, and it permits us to get the taste for living, the taste for developing an appreciation for the gift of life, a taste for sharing it at a meaningful level with others, and a taste for using this precious gift of life to create our own healthier self-image and to encourage others to do the same. Our source of life has granted each of his crowning achievements with talents, skills, and abilities that we're to use our time here at the Academy of Life to develop. After all, we're learning to be effective representatives of our Creator in the performance of our duties here on earth. Redeeming the time is to be the focus while we're at this Academy of Life, not just sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. We've been assigned to represent our eternal and spiritual source of life at this physical level. At an appointed time, each of us will be encouraged to choose that next level of life when it comes our time to do so. We are the final say in that choice because, as I've mentioned over and over again, we're free moral agents made that way, created that way by our Maker. We spend our days seeking to learn about our source of life while neglecting to connect with what He expressed for our physical to spiritual development. Our physical to spiritual growth and development is only achieved when using the process expressed from the mouth of our senior partner in creating and in creations. We're appointed to grow and physical to spiritual development is the key. We're to embrace the divine words of life as expressed by our Creator, incorporate them, act upon them, and encourage others to do the same. The initial words of life presented for our benefit in the form of utterances, statements, and expressions presented by our eternal and spiritual Creator were made available in the physical form, although originating as eternal and spiritual energy. These eternal and spiritual words of life were translated into a physical form so we could use our physical suit, physical eyes, physical everything we have to embrace them, incorporate them, act upon them, and generate the spiritual that's still part of every single one of these divine instructions. Our life giver as life and as love encourages you and me to emulate the following essence of our Creator: compassion, forgiveness, mercy, and kindness as we develop a more meaningful relationship or representative role of our boss, benevolent boss, and our friend who is our Father in heaven. We're capable of creating, generating, producing, promoting, sustaining, sharing, infusing, and refreshing life at our physically assigned level as representatives of the giver of life. We're to be flesh and blood creators, listen up, or gods in the flesh, as we strive to emulate our eternal and spiritual source of being. In the image and in the likeness of our source of life appears to have gone over the heads of so many who remain caught up in the divisive and competing political religious movements that have no eternal connection whatsoever. There's no physical to spiritual connection unless the words of life as expressed from the mouth of our life giver are put into play and done so as expressed from the mouth of our Creator. Our source of life has provided the necessary connectors, guaranteeing our success in bridging the gap between our physical position and the spiritual we strive to enter. The utterances, statements, and expressions made available from our senior partner in life are chock full of spiritual and eternal energy, and we can feed off that if we would embrace it and act upon them. We're only to embrace these words of life, incorporate them, and begin to act upon them as we do our part in perfecting or maturing ourselves while making our world a better place in which to live. What an amazing and incredible plan that has been expressed by our Creator that was developed in the boardroom of creation. And it permits us to participate in perfecting or maturing who and what we are. And we actually have the final say on perfecting ourselves. I think that of and by itself is an amazing understanding. we have the greater say in our physical to spiritual growth and development. We're appointed to choose life. That's our choice. And it's not going to be forced upon us. When we're ready, I believe we will. But not everyone is ready at the same time. One size doesn't fit all. Some of us need several courses in life. Some need one. Some need 3, 4, 5, whatever. We're appointed to choose life using the process handed to us and expressed by our Creator as designed in the boardroom of creation. Now, you may begin to understand, finally, maybe, perhaps, how valuable you truly are to the Father in heaven, the Creator of us all. Thank you for stopping by. We have a lot to do to make our world a better place in which to live. We can fulfill our purpose for having been granted this experience at the Academy of Life if we can break away from those numerous divisive and competing political religious movements that are led by control freaks, fearmongers, ego-driven and self-appointed scholar gentry. Look to the one Creator of life who is life and who is love. Remember, you possess the ability to emulate compassion, forgiveness, mercy, and kindness. Be well, be blessed. Stop by tomorrow evening.